Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your past, present, as well as your future, but we're also going to look at the ultimate outcome of your current situation. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. So in the recent past, we do have the Eight of Wands. Your current energy is the Knight of Wands. In the near future, we do have the King of Wands. Now, as far as like your ultimate outcome is concerned, we do have the Lovers. Whoever this person is, they could be a fire sign strongly, so an Aries, Leo, Sag, maybe even a Gemini. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but I feel like you and this individual, man, like you guys have like a very on and off relationship with one another. Yeah, you guys have like a very on and off relationship with one another. I feel like somebody has a tendency of constantly running back to someone, and the other person has a tendency of constantly accepting this individual back into their life over and over again. It's like the best way that I can describe what I'm seeing so far. But let's get into your reading and see what else we can get here. So in the past, we do have the Eight of Wands, the Page of Swords. We also have the Chariot to the Moon out here. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Ten of Wands, the Three of Swords. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that just makes things a little bit more, I guess, interesting around here. I mean, you guys are showing up as the King and the Queen of Wands. One thing that I will tell you guys is that right off the bat, it looks like you guys are in a twin flame connection. Another thing that I want to tell you is that I've personally never seen the King and the Queen of Wands break up for good. Like, I've seen these two break up, you know what I mean? I've seen them break up so many times, but as far as breaking up for good, I've never seen it happen a day in my life. I'm not entirely sure why that is, to be honest, why these two just never let one another go for good. I don't know. It's something that I've been trying to figure out for years now. So Virgo, it kind of looks like in the recent past, you kind of reached this point of essentially feeling, as far as like within your relationship with this individual is concerned, like you just can't take it anymore. Like you just can't continue to proceed forward in this dynamic between you and this person anymore. And it kind of looks like it's because this person puts you through a lot of pain and a lot of suffering. Is basically what I'm gathering. So it kind of looks like you are deciding to walk away from this entire situation. With the Page of Swords to the Moon coming out here, that's kind of telling me that, you know, at this point, you don't really know what your future is going to look like without this individual in it. But a lot of you feel like anything is better than being here with this person is basically what I'm getting. So it kind of looks like you're deciding to start a whole new chapter / life for yourself without this person in it. Very, I wouldn't say that you're concerned, but I feel like it's something that weighs very heavily on your mind. I'll say that because I'm not getting like an energy of worry and concern coming from you. It's an energy of like, I really don't know what my life is going to look like without this person in it, but I guess I'll find out. I guess I'll see. I feel like that it definitely does weigh heavily at the forefront of your mind as far as like what your life is going to look like now without this person in it is basically what I'm getting. But I wouldn't say that you're worried or concerned. I feel like you're more curious than anything. Is basically what I'm getting. Okay, tell me more about the Knight of Wands. Okay. Five of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, and then we also have the Strength card. Yeah. I see you walking away from this entire situation, and they definitely see you walking away from this entire situation as well, Virgo. But with that Knight of Wands energy coming out here, that to me feels like an energy of them running after you, basically, which honestly, I'm not shocked or surprised by that. I mean, when it comes down to the King and the Queen of Wands, these two typically have like a runner chaser like dynamic where there's somebody who's always running away from the connection, and then the other one is just running after the person that's running away from the connection. So I'm not surprised, I guess, by what I'm seeing here as far as them running after you is concerned. I'm getting an energy of you being very polite. I mean, despite everything that this person put you through, which seems like a lot of pain and a lot of suffering, I feel like you're being very polite with them, Virgo. Like, I am getting that. Like, as much as you may want to, like, send this person to, not such a nice place, we'll put it like that, not such a nice place, Virgo, as much as you want to send them off to a not so nice place, I feel like you're being very polite with them. I am getting that strongly. I know it's a weird download, but you're being very polite with them. Like, I'm sorry, but this is just not going to work out. You know what I mean? But, I wish you nothing but the best, but this, I'm sorry, this is just not going to work out. You know what I mean? You're being very polite with them. I am definitely getting that. I am getting that there's a lot of holding back coming from you. Like, I feel like there's a lot of harsh things that you may want to just outright say to this person that you're choosing to like not say. I just feel like you're deciding to like be the bigger person in this entire situation. So instead of you, I'm sorry, sending them to a not so nice place, if you know what I mean, without saying it, right? I feel like you're just choosing to be, polite about it. You're just choosing to be polite. Okay. All right, so in the near future, we do have the King of Wands, we got the Seven of Cups, so 4 of Wands, and then we also have the Sun. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, not only do I see this person running after you, but I see them like doing everything that they could possibly think of to keep you in their life. At the end of the day, this is somebody who can't really picture or fathom their life without you. It almost seems, what's the best word that I can use here to describe them and how they're looking at the situation? It almost seems, God, how do I explain it? It almost seems impossible, I guess, for this person to like picture and or fathom their life without you. It almost seems impossible for them to picture and or fathom themselves with somebody else who's obviously not you. Like this, hold on, let me try to like paint a picture here. You know that there's certain things, Virgo, that you can totally see yourself doing in this life, that you feel is possible, that you feel is, basically that you feel is possible, right? Like, I feel like there's certain things that we can all like personally see ourselves doing and experiencing. And there's certain things that we personally can't see ourselves doing and or experiencing. So it's like one of those things with them where it's like they personally can't, how do I say this? They personally can't picture and or fathom, I would say, their life without you in it, nor can they picture and or fathom them essentially building or establishing, a life with someone else who obviously just isn't you. I also feel like this person knows that they're never going to find, anyone better than you or anyone better than this connection that they share with you. I mean, this connection, for them has brought them a lot of happiness and a lot of joy, and it's something that they would love to continue to have in their life. The problem is, though, is that it's at the cost of your pain and suffering. That's the problem. It's at the cost of your pain and suffering. So while you're over here suffering, no complaints coming from this person whatsoever. I mean, they're as happy as they can be, but it's at the cost of your pain and suffering. You see what I mean? Man, you kind of find yourself in a very tricky situation, because I can tell that you've suffered a lot being with this person. I mean, yeah, it kind of looks like you did suffer a lot being with this person. And it kind of looks like you just don't want to suffer anymore. But I guess we'll see how this plays out, you guys, because I've personally never seen the King and the Queen of Wands break up for good. I mean, I've seen them break up temporarily, but they always end up getting back together. I guess we'll see how this all plays out. We have the Lovers out here, so let's look at the Lovers. Tell me more about the Lovers. Got the Ace of Wands to the World, and then we also have the Page of Wands to the Lovers out here, to the Three of Pentacles. Then we got the Nine of Pentacles to the Emperor, and then we also have the Nine of Cups. Okay. 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 All right, let's talk. As far as the ultimate outcome is concerned, I'm going to be honest, Virgo, what it is that I'm seeing here, okay? I don't feel like you want this cycle to close out here between the two of you. I just kind of feel like you want things to change, ultimately for the better, between the two of you. Now, here's the thing. I feel like this change that you're looking to have / experience is something that is completely and utterly out of your control. In other words, it kind of looks like you want this person to change, but we all know that that is something that is completely and utterly out of your control, because, we all know that we can't you know, change people. People would have to want to essentially change on their own. So it's a tricky situation because I feel like what you want is something that is just completely and utterly out of your control. And there's honestly no telling if you're honestly going to have that and or experience that. Here's one thing that I will say that I feel more confident in telling you more than anything. I see you taking this relationship back into consideration all over again. However, I do feel like it will be under one condition, and that condition being that this person essentially changes their ways. Now, here's my thing. With the Three of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles to the Nine of Cups to the Emperor coming out here, that's kind of telling me, and I say this with confidence when I say this, okay? That's kind of telling me that this person, they are going to put in some work to prove to you that they've essentially changed and that they're willing to do whatever it takes to make this relationship work. I want to ask what you could expect / anticipate from this relationship within a month from now. What can my Virgos anticipate and or expect from this person and a relationship within a month from now? Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and then we also have the Ten of Cups. So I do see things, for the most part, looking good between the two of you. So that's kind of telling me that whatever it is that this person is doing on their end to make this dynamic between the two of you work, it is drastically improving your relationship with them. What can my Virgos anticipate and or expect 2 months from now from this person? King of Cups, Queen of Swords. Okay, so things are looking good still. Let's see, 3 months from now, we do have the Empress to the Ten of Swords, and then we also have the Queen of Pentacles. Tell me more about the, okay. So that's kind of telling me that within the next 2 months, if you were to, I guess, get back with this person or forgive them or whatever have you, for the next 2 months, things are going to look really good here between the two of you. Things are going to look really, really great. However, by the 3rd month, I do see you getting let down by this person again. This to me kind of feels like a repetitive thing that this person continues to put you through. So I don't see you very shocked or surprised by it. I just see you more like disappointed more than anything, because I feel like, and it has a lot to do with the fact that you're going to see your relationship with this person for the next 2 months look awesome and look great, to the point where you're going to find yourself thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, like this person has finally changed. Yes, you know, then to just get disappointed again by the 3rd month is basically what I'm getting. Now, with the Eight of Swords to the Magician to the Knight of Swords coming out here, personally don't like this energy coming from this person, because this to me kind of feels like an energy of them, yes, disappointing you, but also trying to like gaslight you in some way, shape, or form. Like, I'm not entirely sure what this person's going to do on their end to disappoint you. It's definitely something that they've done before is basically what I'm getting. But this person might try to make it seem like you're crazy, Virgo, and you don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. When they know good and goddamn well, you know what I mean, that they did. They just want to sit here and gaslight you and manipulate you instead of owning up to their stuff. So here's what I will say, Virgo. And I'm just being honest and transparent with you. You know what I mean? I don't see the suffering ending for you. I mean, I do see you, I guess, getting a break for the next 2 months. I mean, I don't see you suffering or anything like that, you know, within the next 2 months within your relationship with this person. But by the 3rd month, I mean, this person's doing something on their end that's leaving you extremely disappointed, and they're going as far as to manipulate the hell out of you or gaslight the hell out of you and make it seem like you're crazy and you don't know what you're talking about, when in all actuality, you know the truth. They're just gonna, I guess, sit here and make you think, believe, and feel like you're crazy and you don't know what you're talking about, I guess. Listen, at the end of the day, if you do decide to forgive this person or take this person back, you could experience, you know, this happily ever after with this individual for 2 months straight. By the 3rd month, expect things to go left. Expect them to gaslight you about something. Expect them to disappoint you. What would Virgo, I want to see what your life will look like if you don't decide to take this person back. We have the Three of Cups, so the Ace of Wands, and then we also have the Seven of Wands. Okay, before I open my mouth, 1 second. Okay. Nine of Swords, you got the Star to the Five of Swords. Yeah, that's a fucking tricky part of this damn relationship. Sorry. You know, I've been trying to like study the King and the Queen of Wands for quite some time now, for years now, because this relationship between the King and the Queen of Wands is very different from any other like relationship, like for example with the King and the Queen of Pentacles, the King and the Queen of Cups. It feels like, I guess the best way that I can describe a King and a Queen of Wands like energy is like it's like a relationship between two people that can't let go of one another or move forward and move on with their lives. As much as they may try to do so, it just seems impossible for whatever reason. I don't know. The King and the Queen of Wands, it's a very interesting duo. Honestly, I have more questions than answers when it comes down to the King and the Queen of Wands, but here's what I will say. If you decide to move forward and move on with your life, you will be at peace. That's for starters. You won't be worried and concerned about, oh man, is this person doing this behind my back? Is this person doing that behind my back? So these are things that you will be basically freed of. However, when you try to move forward and move on with your life, and for example, let's say you want to go off and build and establish a life with someone else, which is something that the King and the Queen of Wands both experience, it for the most part seems remotely impossible for these two to do so. And it's mainly because when they try to move forward and move on with their life, they try to look for somebody who's obviously 10 times better than what they initially had. And every time they try to move forward and move on with their life and try to find better, they never actually do. Why? I don't freaking know. Again, it's like a big mystery when it comes down to the King and the Queen of Wands. So for example, if you decide to not get back with this person, the opportunity to go off and build with someone will definitely present itself to you, Virgo. But the desire to go off and do so may not be there, because at the end of the day, what you want is something that's 10 times better than what you initially had. You're not going to want to like turn around and just settle for whoever, you know, because whatever, you know, like, no, like you're going to want to be with somebody who's 10 times better than this person that you once upon a time had. Same applies for them. They're going to want to end up with somebody who's 10 times better than you. And I feel like when it comes down to the King and the Queen of Wands, when these two break up, they try to move forward and move on with their lives and date other people. But it's like, as much as they try to date other people and go with other people, it's like they lose a desire to do so. And it's mainly because the person that they're getting to know / building a relationship with is not anybody who's 10 times better than what they initially had, causing them to lose the desire to want to run off into the sunset with this one or that one. And this is why they typically always get back together, because they never tend to find anyone better, you know, than one another. So I mean, you know, then there's that, Virgo. But what advice can you give me for Virgo? We have the Queen of Cups, the Four of Cups, and then we also have the man. Here's what I will say as far as the advice is concerned. I think that there's still hope, even though it may not feel that way, Virgo. I understand. I understand why you might think that that's not the case, but there is still hope for the two of you to have a healthy relationship with one another. It just requires the both of you to change. Not just one of you, but honestly, the both of you to change. They can't be the only one putting in the work to essentially changing and remaining the same, just like you can't be putting in all of this work to essentially, you know, changing their remaining the same. It's just not going to fucking work. At the end of the day, you love them, they love you. You don't want to walk away, but you feel like you have no other choice. They can't picture nor fathom their life, you know, without you in it. So I think that this is one of those situations where the both of you have to honestly put in the work to honestly change. And be the best version of yourselves that you guys can possibly be, not only for yourselves, but also for one another. So as far as Spirit's advice is concerned, I feel like what Spirit wants the both of you to do is to change, honestly, for one another. Basically, you know what I mean? Because there is still hope. You guys could have a healthy and stable relationship. It just requires the both of you to change. All right? So that being said, Virgo, that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.